Manchester United's season has been slowed by injuries to many of their core players, but whereas he is not yet an out-and-out senior player on the team, Kobbie Mainoo is one player that Manchester United should be excited knowing that he returned and started a game for the under-19s in the European Youth League, the UEFA European Under-19 League, and here is why. So Kobbie Mainoo returned and started as Manchester United lost to FC Copenhagen's under-19 at Old Trafford by 1-0. But for me, that's far away from the point. Whereas we lost that one, the more important victory came in the seniors as they do beat Copenhagen by the same amount of goals. But for Kobbie Mainoo to return, I'll tell you this is why Manchester United supporters should be happy. What Kobbie Mainoo adds to Manchester United is a whole different dimension in that midfield that we have not seen in a long time because of his physique, because of his passing ability, because of his composure, because of his work rate. And if you look at Manchester United, the games we've played, even that game against FC Copenhagen, where Sofian Amrabat was substituted off because he was nearly not seen anywhere. He was invisible for the most part of the game, like he has been for certain games when he has played as a midfielder. You feel that this boy who is just 18, born in 2005, is actually a huge solution to a lot of things at Manchester United because United lacks a proper strong fulcrum on which the whole of our play should spin. We know that in the Premier League, in global football at this stage, battles are won in the midfield. You've got to be in control of your midfield if you're going to win games. And even if you've got these silky players, they have got to have a solid midfielder around whom they spin, a fulcrum, a linchpin. And United has lacked that. Last season, Casemiro offered that. But clearly, in unison, we'll agree that Casemiro has struggled for the most part of this season. Even when he's back in training, we are not so excited because what he gives is not as much as what he could give us last season. And it's not because he's a bad player, it's because he's aging and the demands of the Premier League are becoming way too faster than his abilities in terms of his body and physique. So you think he always has got to have that player who can come in and back him up properly. Now, Sofian Amrabat doesn't seem to be quite there. He doesn't seem to be quite that player yet because Amrabat clearly playing as a holding midfielder alone has been exposed a bit. He has looked clueless to some extent. And clearly, he lacks certain attributes that this young Kobbie Mainoo has got. Now, Kobbie Mainoo has certainly got to be that player we look at and say when he slides back into the team, he's going to improve everyone around him. If the games we've watched him play during preseason are anything to go by, this boy is a complete midfielder, a complete solid holding midfielder who will make everyone around him look good because of his ability. First of all, the distances, the spaces he covers, his ability to track to track and follow opponents and make them actually push them back to their half. I've seen him in games where he has ran and chased. He can run and chase a player and get them passing the ball backwards because he forces players to play negative. He forces the opposition to play negative, and that's an important attribute of a holding midfielder. But his physique as well makes him a beast of sorts, and that is something you want if you're going to tame the speed of the Premier League. So Kobbie Mainoo's return, because he has been injured for a long time since that game against Real Madrid, is something that for me, coupled with the improvement of players like Andre Onana and Harry Maguire, and of course Rasmus Højlund up front, this give us a balance that I think is so important if Manchester United is going to turn the season around. Because whereas and Eric Ten Hag has been talking about the presence of a lot of competition in the midfield for Manchester United, I think the competition we have has got to be to be seen in terms of what each player does when they come onto the pitch. Can you say you see a lot of difference from the players we have, Bruno, Mason Mount, and Christian Eriksen? Maybe if you're to go by the game against Copenhagen, you can say so because Christian Eriksen came on in the second half and clearly impacted the game. But by and large, you feel we don't have so many players offering us something different, with the exception of Kobbie Mainoo. He's the only player of all the midfielders we've got who offers us something completely different, but it has a huge impact on how we play. it has a huge impact on how everyone else looks, because with Kobbie Mainoo playing the way he does, obviously Mason Mount will look better because perhaps he will not be so worried about tracking back. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes perhaps will not have to cover longer yards, bigger yards, because he's one player we know who loves running back. I think of all our lazy players, he's one of those who tries to track back. So Kobbie Mainoo is a solution, and I think we should be praying so much that he returns fast and slides back into the senior team. So the baby steps made in his return, I think, are so good, because again, starting a game, whereas these are the under 19s, but starting a full game when just a few weeks ago he was training alone. It shows you that the recovery to his hamstring injury is looking good. To his injury is looking good. I think it's a hamstring, if my memory is not letting me down. But the reality is, Kobbie Mainoo is could be actually one of the few missing pieces in our jigsaw. Because think about Onana playing at his best the way he was against Copenhagen, Varane there and fit, Lisandro Martinez, Harry Maguire improving by the day, Sergio Reguilon fit, on Diogo Dalot or Wan-Bissaka returns when he does, and then you've got Kobbie Mainoo, play him alongside Casemiro probably, and drop Mason Mount to the bench. You've got your Bruno Fernandes as your number 10. Scott McTominay is still a confusion. I think I'm beginning to believe that probably Scott McTominay should be an impact player. I think United will look different. Put your Garnacho or Anthony Martial, start on the left, Marcus Rashford benched, and you have Pelistri on the right, then Rasmus Højlund up top. I feel like United will look more calm and more balanced and more solid. There will be belief and trust from all players in everyone on the pitch. Unlike when you've got Sofian Amrabat playing as the holding midfielder, and clearly you see that the whole unit then looks a bit shaky. I feel like Kobbie Mainoo, young as he is that player who organizes us in a way, who makes us look organized and calm and comfortable and collected, which is important if we are going to win games at Manchester United. So for me, the best news so far is the fact that Kobbie Mainoo returned and played for the under-19s. He has been out for a while, and when he does return, I think for me, when he's fully back and starting games in the senior team, because I do expect him, by the way, when he's 100% fit, to be properly competing for starting places in that midfield. And it is true that Erik ten Hag promised him that. He got injured against Real Madrid. He was starting. He was just barely 5 minutes on the pitch. But Erik ten Hag has promised him that his chance will come again. And slowly but surely, we are beginning to see him reintroduced back into the team. And trust me, when he's back, United will go places. How happy I will be if he's fit and available for that game against Man City. Trust me, that one player. And Casemiro is there and all. I'm not so excited about Casemiro. If Kobbie Mainoo is fit enough to play against Manchester City, trust you me, Manchester City will have a proper run for their money. He is our Ruben Diaz of sorts. Yes, he is our Ruben Diaz. You've seen how Man City struggles without Diaz. I will tell you, Manchester United need Kobbie Mainoo. If that boy is in there, we will win games more comfortably. We will look more organized, more calm. We will boss the midfield, because that's what he does. He covers the entire circle, goes wide on the right, goes on the left, central axis, tracks back, goes forward. He is such a beast of a young midfielder, and that is obviously for me the kind of player we need right now as Manchester United. But I'll be giving you the team news. It's only Wednesday. The game is on Sunday against Man City. I will tell you whether Erik ten Hag was impressed by the minutes that Kobbie Mainoo had in that under-19 game against FC Copenhagen. He was later substituted off in that loss, but don't you mind about the loss. The boy is fit. He's back. Let's wait to enjoy him. Hotspot, subscribe. My name is Webb. I'll catch you later, fam.